What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian, on the Pantheon Podcast Network. Today we have Phil from a band called Taproot. Let's go.
Hello.
Oh, no! Oh, boy! Ah, here it comes! The motherfucking Loud Spot!
Today I am joined by my producer, Sam, who is in the background clicking buttons for us. And we, of course, are here with Phil from a band called Taproot, one of my favorite bands that got me through some hard times. I never really had hard times. That's a lie. Just a band I really liked from the early 2000 era. And you guys are coming out with a brand new album, 2023. I think it's your 7th studio album. Is that right?
I believe that is correct. Yes.
Dang,
Yeah,
is that exciting to come out with an album after, I don't know, 11 years of not having one, maybe?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Just the way things have worked out because as for me, I was kind of like, I'm done with this nonsense for a while, and, we took our little hiatus. And as of the beginning of this year, I wasn't planning on doing anything. We had one show on the books. We're going to play Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Virginia. And see how it goes. We had a new guitar player that was going to play with us, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, Steve was ready to release a record, and I talked to this guy that I've known forever, who is now managing us, this guy, Tom Hazart. And by talking to him, he had pretty much quit the music industry. I was kind of out of it. And then once we started talking, we got excited, talked to Steve, and all of a sudden, what started out as, hey, do you guys want to do some Taproot skateboards, turned into basically, pretty much a tour, a new album, all sorts of stuff going on, man. We got merch. Everything's just all of a sudden fired up and everything's moving, and I'm excited. He's excited. Everybody's excited. It's just like, where did all this come from,
Well, you guys have been playing you guys played a show at least in 2013. I think you guys went on tour. Was there any other shows that you've played between the last release that you were probably promoting on that tour until, I guess, any time between the Void? I guess we'll call it the Void.
Yeah, it was a Void. We did a welcome anniversary show at the Machine Shop. We did 2 nights at the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan, basically our hometown, and then we did a 20th anniversary show at the Token Lounge again in Michigan. Just 2 shows, just kind of for fun. They were, I think one was 2015, one was 2017, or 2017, 2019, something like that. They were definitely years apart. And then years from now, I think it's been 6 years. So yeah, that would be 2017 was our last show.
So the band never officially broke up. You guys just kind of stopped playing.
Yeah, really. It just just kind of got burnt out. Music industry for us wasn't doing great for us. Steve was having some health issues and just, personal stuff with everybody. And we just sat off the road for a little while. Steve had been working on this record pretty much this whole time, though. He had these songs on our last tour and we were all excited for it. And then just, he's been working on trying to finish it up between, his busy life. So
when you guys did your last tour, did you expect that to kind of be it for a while? Did you know, or it was just kind of one of those things that just happened that life got busy and maybe people got married? I don't know. Things happen in life that are unexpected.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily expecting this long of a break. But as it started happening, it's like, okay, how are we going to make this work still? And, I know some of us needed a longer break than others. For me, I'm glad for the break. I was probably the least person that wanted to take a break when it first happened. But once it happened, I started getting, my life in order a little bit outside of, being in a band. Yeah. It was kind of nice to have some stability for a while, because we've been doing this since, pretty much since straight out of college, or some of us didn't go to college, 97 is when we started. 2000 is when we first got signed. And we're pretty much constant ever since. So as an adult, I never really had stability.
Okay, tell me about the stress of that. Because a lot of bands you hear, for me, I graduated high school 2001. So of course Taproot was kind of a big part of, I listened to rock music, was a not big up and coming band. But we don't think as fans, I guess we don't care about the artists. We just assume you guys are doing good things, But I get probably a lot of bands have stability issues because you may not be able to pay your bills all the time.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I'm actually in the middle of reading our original drummer Jared's book called True Rock Stars, and kind of reliving a lot of that old stuff that we talked about, or that we've lived through rather. And he references at the time before we got signed, we all kind of thought if you were on MTV, you must have millions of dollars, or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're doing great and everything's awesome. But the reality is so not that at all. And what's weird about it, with speaking of stability, like there are times when I had more money ever in the bank per se, but you don't know when your next money is going to come from. You don't have this, weekly or bi-weekly paycheck. It's just, it might be 6 months, it might be a year before you actually see some real money again.
You got to manage it, man, right?
What's that?
You got to manage. You got to manage your money, right? Because you go out. Let's say you make a few $100,000 on some big tour. I don't know how much you made, something like that. And you go, oh, we're gonna do another tour, blah blah blah. The next thing you know, you buy a fucking brand new Mercedes or something. You just pay cash for it, and then 2 years goes by, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Does that happen?
Yeah, except for the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It wasn't quite that, and the not the really nice cars, but it was never quite that big for us. But I mean, same kind of idea. We were fortunate enough to have good business managers that said, we have a different cut with the band. It was 30-30-20-20 for, Mike and Steve, where they were the main songwriters. So they got 30%. Me and Jared got 20% of everything we made, of like the publishing and stuff. So they would get a bigger. So essentially what they said is they don't want any of us to run out of money first, right? They don't want me to blow all my money or someone else to blow all their money. So Steve and Mike took whatever they had extra, and they could just kind of do whatever, right? That was pulled out of the bank account. So we all started off even, then we'd all take the same amount of money every month, so we kind of had an allowance for ourselves. And if anyone said, hey, dude, I just crashed my car, I need, $1,500, then everybody takes out $1,500.
Oh, so it was like a budgeting, was it like a budgeting manager?
Yeah, account manager or business manager or whatever. But that was one of the pieces of advice he gave us, because where you get into trouble is, say, I blow all my money just doing whatever. I'm gambling or something. Not that I'm a gambler, but if I was, I blow my money gambling, and all of a sudden I'm struggling. Someone else has more money, but I'm not. And now I'm trying to borrow from somebody else or trying to get advances, and that's where the stress of a band gets even harder, right? It's hard enough without somebody not making the same amount of money as the others, so for us it just made sense to do that. It was probably one of the best decisions we've ever done.
So let's talk about then Spotify for a second. All right, because you're talking about budgeting, and now back in the early 2000s you made your money on touring and merch, of course,
yeah,
but you also made some money. Maybe you didn't. Maybe it depends on how the label. There's this cat, by the way. He has a Bengal cat.
This is Ember.
Ember sitting right there next to him. Does Spotify, I know it pays a little bit. Does that kind of help at all supplement any kind of income?
Yeah.
If you're not selling merchandise. So the cat's like, yes, it does. So does that help you kind of know some sort of a budget, or as far as what a monthly income is going to be if you're not touring and not selling merchandise?
Yeah, we have a pretty regular publishing, now that especially since we've been off tour, right? We don't have these ups and down spikes. It's just sort of like we have this constant flow of a tiny bit of money that comes from Spotify and YouTube and all the streaming.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be even close to make a living by, but it's just a little extra. Like I consider it Christmas money. I usually dole it out to all the guys at Christmas, and here's a little bit of something. But yeah, but you can see it, and there are weird spikes every once in a while. It makes me go, I wonder what happened there. Like why did
you got pushed?
Yeah.
For some reason, like you had more monthly listeners for whatever reason. It's probably me playing it a bunch of times while I was driving.
Right.
right.
It helps though, man. The streaming definitely helps. You can see it. It's people keep listening to our stuff through the streams, man. It's great.
Did Blue Ridge Rock Fest come up before you decided? You might have answered it earlier, but I was listening, but let's answer it anyways. Did Blue Ridge Rock Fest come up before? Yeah, okay. I am drinking a beer, actually. Did Blue Ridge Rock Fest come up before discussion of a new album, or was the new album in play and that's why you decided to do Blue Ridge?
No, Blue Ridge was just a good offer. We knew a lot of cool bands would be there. It was a good enough offer to kind of make us go, let's see. I knew it was coming. I knew the new album would be coming. I knew we had to figure out something, play a show at some point, and we had a couple other offers that didn't quite work out, just with either the timing or whatever. But this one, just everything lined up. It was far enough in the future that I could say yes to it and feel like we would get everything lined up for. But like I said, I wasn't planning on doing anything. I was going to say, let's play Blue Ridge and see where we're at. Probably do an album, release the albums at some point after that. Let's just see where our fan base is, see how we feel, see if we're going to try to do more shows. But then like I said, talking to Tom, our manager, we just kind of got excited about stuff, and he had way more faith in the band than I did.
Mhm.
And so he had this plan, and we talked about it. I'm like, I don't know, man, but we'll see. I'll trust you on how things are going to go. And next thing you know, we announced a show at the Machine Shop, again, our hometown, and it sold out in less than 30 minutes.
Damn, dude.
And I was like, because we planned on 2 shows there because we sell that out. I mean, it's our hometown, right? So we planned to, we assumed we sold out. So we sold the first show, like I said, in 30 minutes. We announced the next show for the following Wednesday to be on sale. And that one sold out in about 30 minutes as well.
Dang, dude.
And yeah, it was, I mean, that's never happened for us before. So we're like, okay, this is a little different right now. I guess this time apart, people are really excited. We're cool enough that, I mean, we've been around long enough. We have fans kind of all over the world, really, but definitely all over the US. And it's really cool to see because they came to our previous couple of reunion type shows, and we seeing them comment on our pages being like, oh, they're as excited to see each other as they are to see us.
That's cool.
Like people that have met at these previous shows that became friends and started talking online, they get to see each other again because we're doing shows again. So we actually announced a 3rd show for that same place. It's almost sold out, and we lined up a bunch more shows, all within driving distance, all Weekend Warrior stuff. I've got a job. Our drummer's got a job. We've all got busy lives and stuff. But Weekend Warrior type stuff, we're like, we can make this work, and kind of still try to bring what we're doing to the fans again. To these certain places, and we're trying to get out farther. We're working on logistics for getting out to Florida, getting down to Texas, getting out to the West Coast. But just. We don't have any vehicle yet to do anything, so I don't know how that's going to work yet.
It's almost like starting over a little bit after such a long time of not playing.
Yeah, dude, we have nothing.
I do want to let's talk about some old news. We only got about 30 minutes, about 20 minutes left with you. I want to bring up some old news, and what's funny is I got this sent over to me. It's on YouTube. Before this was sent, I was actually watching a YouTube video the other day, and something about Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit came up with System of a Down, Family Values Tour. Then all of a sudden it says Taproot, and I'm like, well, hold on, they're coming on my show in a couple days. Let me go back and rewatch this. And I guess there was some drama there, really between, I don't think it was so much you guys in System of a Down, but maybe you guys and Fred Durst or Limp Bizkit. And so we have a voicemail that he played for your vocalist Steven, and I want to play that right now. And I'm sure you recall hearing this voice message along back in the day, so let's check it out. Here we go.
Steve, Fred Durst. Hey man, you fucked up. You don't ever bite the hand that feeds in this business, bro. And your fucking manager, so bad, this fucking idiot, loser motherfucker going nowhere. You just chosen that path. Took you under my wing, brought you to my house. Fucking talked about your ass on radio and press. And you embarrassed like me and the Interscope family. Your association with Limp Bizkit doesn't exist. Your manager slings our name around. He's going to be blackballed and probably be erased. And you will too. He's a fucking idiot. You're going to fucking learn from this time right here. I hope you let your band know that you just fucked yourself. You need to be associated with somebody in this business. You need something to get you out there and put you out there and believe in it. Now you got enemies, and you're fucking yourself already. Tell your friend that. Don't fucking show up at my shows, because if you do, you're going to get fucked. Alright? You and your fucking punk ass, man. You call your fucking manager, David Menezes, whatever. Ask him what he's done and doing. You're a fucking dumb motherfucker. You're learning right now exactly how to ruin your career before it gets started. All the luck, brother. Fuck you.
He goes, all the luck, brother. Fuck you, man. Okay, so what was that all about? What was that all about?
All right, so a little backstory. When we'd been a band for maybe a year when we first. We knew of Limp Bizkit already. Me and Steve went to see a show when they opened up for Korn before $3 Bill Y'all came out, and then so when we lived at a college town, so Steve actually got one of their first CD when it was like a promo copy. Back in the day, you'd have promo copies for like music reviewers of the CD, and they would being a college town, they would often sell it back to like a record store, right? So we got a copy of that and sent Fred, because there was a address saying, hey, send your demos or whatever to here, right? So we had kind of jump on that. We were probably one of the first ones he ever got, because we got to jump on the record. and he liked it. Called Steve up, and Steve, mind you, even for this message, Steve lived at his house with his mom.
Okay.
Right. So this is basically his mom's answering machine that this is happening. So the first message was cool. Like he's listening. I think he had like Negative Reinforcement, one of our old songs playing in the background. He's like, "Hey man, I dig this stuff. Cool man. Let's hook up." And so hung out with him a few times. He'd come to Detroit, played some shows. We got to see him. Hung on their bus a couple of times, and he talked about us on MTV. And we kept sending him music, and he was liking it. Talked about some changes he wanted to do again and again. Various things, changes we didn't take, mind you, but just little ideas he had. He's definitely into the band. So we're excited. We're young, we're up and coming. We're like, yes, this is awesome. And they're about to become one of the biggest bands in the world, Same time, though, years passed and not much was going on because we thought we were ready. In hindsight, we weren't ready. We were still very much a growing band. But, he had signed Cold and worked with Cold. He had worked with some of the guys from Soulfly. He worked with Stained. And we're just like, what's going on, man? And he just kept telling us, just keep working. And eventually he gave us what was essentially a demo deal for Interscope. And it was like record 3 songs. And then, we can choose to use them or not. And if we don't use them, then certain things happen and blah, blah, blah. It was just kind of like not a great deal after all the waiting. And at the same time, some management that we knew through a friend, out in LA, Velvet Hammer Management, they got a hold of us, and they're legit. They managed System of a Down, and they had asked us, to if they could, they wanted to, basically they were interested in us and set us up with a show to open up for System of a Down to see if we were, the real thing, if they liked us or not. So they flew out. Mark flew out from Velvet Hammer. They, we rocked out, played a good show. They liked us. They got super excited about us, and all of a sudden they want to get us in front of some people, So the first person they got us in front of was Rick Rubin, and obviously we're gonna say yes to that. You get to play in front of Rick Rubin, hell yeah. So we flew out, did the show, didn't say anything to Fred at the time. We don't we weren't on that kind of level where we talked to him all the time, but we just flew out there just to see what was up, and had a great.
He knew Steve's mom's phone number.
Right. Yeah.
So knew him enough.
Yeah. This is before cell phones though, and all that. None of us had a cell phone at the time.
Right.
So we flew out to LA, did the showcase for Rick, flew back, and when we got back was when we found that message from Fred. We found out pretty quickly the music industry is pretty small, and he had heard we did this, and he was not happy about it. Mind you, we didn't sign anything. We were just exploring options, right?
That's kind of shitty to kind of. So he was kind of claiming in a way. Was he kind of claiming you guys like this? Don't do anything with anyone else. Do something with us. Before you answer that, we're gonna pause for a quick advertisement, for a break from one of our advertisers, and we'll be right back, and then continue the story, and then we're gonna play one of your older songs, Palm. So we'll be right back with Phil from Taproot.
Time is everything, and convenience and quality matter the most. Now, you have an affordable, nationwide, online medical solution for over 50 services in which you can be treated by a board-certified doctor from the comfort of your home. For only $49.99, your doctor appointment is taken care of via telehealth. Quick and easy, Jiffy Doctor is here to serve you with excellence, with same-day appointments as well as discounted prescriptions. We treat services from sinus infections, common colds, anxiety, insomnia, birth control, dermatology, erectile dysfunction, STDs, and women and men's health treatments. Sign up today for $49.99 and have your prescriptions delivered to your home if you choose. Jiffy Doctor has served tens of thousands of happy patients, and we are happy to now serve you. JiffyDoctor.com, your new, convenient, and affordable medical solution. Stay home, stay safe, and avoid the wait. JiffyDoctor.com.
And we are back with our guest, Phil, from the band called Taproot. We are going to play Palm here in just a second, but I want you to finish your story. Where did you leave off at? Let me think.
So we were just talking about, Rick Rubin, and we just come back and we had Fred claimed us, right? So in a way, yes. I mean, it would be different if he had told us like, hey, man, you guys are real close. Just keep doing what you're doing. Trust me, this whole thing of like just kind of reassuring us. But he was kind of From what I remember, fairly distant. Again, he might have been talking to Steve more. I can't say for sure. We didn't have any bad blood with them. We still love what they do. Right?
Were you worried when Fred Durst left that message on the answering machine? Were you like, Steve, you fucked up, man? No, it wasn't his fault. But were you guys worried? Like,
for sure,
this could like be the end of Taproot right now.
Yeah, and we didn't feel it. But looking back, I mean, even then, I did not feel like we did anything wrong. You know, there's nothing wrong with exploring your options, right? Mm-hmm. We hadn't signed any contracts with him. He had done nothing other. I mean, they had done nothing for us. He had talked about us and all that stuff, but there was nothing set in stone anywhere, right? There was no promise of anything. So for us,
I get this all the time from Sebastian. Every time something bad happens, he blames me.
That's got to blame someone.
So for us, it was a business decision. I mean, we're just exploring our options and seeing what else was out there, right? And if Fred would come back and said, "Hey, dude, what's going on?" and we said, "Hey, you know, we had this option to do this. We wanted to check it out. You know, is Rick with Ruben? You can't tell you can't blame us." And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, cool, man. Of course, you know, but you know, I got your back, man. Stick with me, dude. I got you. I'm carrying you through this." And we'd be like, "Okay, awesome, dude." You know, but he didn't. He got jealous or whatever. Thought we were trying to backstab him, which we weren't.
You're just trying to figure out a whatever avenue you can take to get Taproot to that next level.
Yeah,
you're not under contract with anyone, and why not have the opportunity to? He should not have ever been upset by that in the first place.
We were young and hungry, man, and we wanted more, right? We wanted to break out and do something more. And this was and Velvet Hammer, to be fair, they got us in front of 6, 7, 8 labels. We had a bidding war for us. They did everything they could to get us the best deal they could get, right? Mm-hmm. So I think for us, it ended up being one of the better things we could have done, right? So, you know, especially with Fred kind of showing kind of his maturity level at the time, right? We were all young and dumb, you know, and we've all grown up since then. And, you know, Steve he's talked about this a lot. He wants to go up with Fred at, because Limp Bizkit's at that Blue Ridge Rock Festival. He wants to go up and do Stuck.
Did you guys all bury the hatchet? Is everything kind
of? Not officially. We haven't officially seen them or talked to them. We played on a couple of festivals where we kind of met eye contact, but haven't had a chance to actually, you know.
If we go to Blue Ridge, I know Sam's mom said we might go to Blue Ridge. If we go to Blue Ridge, we hope to see some sort of bearing of the hatchet live.
Dude, we love to. Like I said, Steve wants to go up there and sing with him, man. And he used to go up there and do Stuck with him live back in the day. And it would be killer, man. It would be great. I think the fans would love it. Everybody knows the story by now. You know what I mean? It'd just be fun and cool. And for everyone to just go, yeah, here we are 20 some odd years later, man. And we're all good. There's no bad blood here.
You were not exclusive to the story? That's kind of fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. I know we're not exclusive to the story. It's out there, yeah.
Well, don't forget that there was also an issue of the songs would be you couldn't get the rights back.
The rights, yeah, right, yeah, exactly. That the contract was not very good for us, right, to do those demos. All good if they loved it and moved forward and signed us to a good deal, but also left us kind of in a bad spot if they didn't like us, right? And that's what had us worried, and that's what made us want to explore more things. So also, though, at the same time, like I said, Velvet Hammer managed System of a Down. System of a Down was supposed to be on Family Values that year, and Fred ended up kicking System of a Down off the tour.
For Taproot, though, right?
Yep. Basically for our management. Like, he didn't like that our manifest did that. And he said, I love System of a Down. But I don't, your boy, David Manifestes, as he called him, but David Bino, he didn't like what he did with us, I guess. So, yeah.
We're gonna play Poem actually after this interview is over, because I didn't really find a good spot to play it. We normally play the song by now. But so what I heard was that then, and maybe it's wrong, I don't know. I saw it on YouTube, right? So it's somebody else's story that I was watching. And we're going to talk about YouTube also for a second. But is it true what this guy said then, that you guys were or Limp Bizkit wanted Taproot, and instead of System of a Down, Taproot then turned down the Family's Value tour? Is that correct? Did you guys ever turn down? No. Okay. So that guy was full of shit.
Yeah, no, it wasn't anything like that. It was literally, I mean, System of a Down, they were already, starting to blow up. They were supposed to be on that Family Values tour. And it was only because we were managed by the same manager that they got kicked off of there. They didn't do anything wrong. We weren't offered anything first. We've never been offered family values at any point in our life. It was just one of those things.
Do you ever hear stories? Now we're going to go back to what I said. We're going to talk about YouTube. Do you ever hear a story on YouTube about your own band, and then you're like, "That's not true," or how did they know that? Maybe it was true. Does that ever you ever Google yourself and see what's out there?
Yeah, there's always weird stuff. There's some stuff that's, even within like I said, I'm reading our drummer's book, and even as I'm reading, I'm like, God, did that happen that way?
There's a guy, I don't even know what his name is. He's on YouTube. He's always like, the strange and sad story of Deftones, the strange and sad story of Korn. It's like always like strange and sad.
Right.
And
that's his deal.
I'm like, what is that? Is that like a true story? Are you just making shit up? Because you can spin something however you kind of want to, you know?
And everyone's got different memories on how things happen. Time passes. You kind of remember things a little differently. But yeah, nothing too weird for us. You know, we never got to that huge level where everyone's talking about us by any means. You know, I mean, which I think has helped us at this point in our career, because we weren't a one-hit wonder. We weren't, oh my God, these guys were so big. So people kind of turned into haters. It's sort of like we've just been at this level for a long time. We've always been good to our fans and played shows and always did our best to be a cool band. And I think it's, 20 some odd years later, it's finally paying off.
You're going to be on that guy's story. It's going to be the strange and sad story of Taproot. And all it's going to say is they were on the Loud Spot podcast. And that's going to be the end of it. That's going to be done. Let's talk about your new album coming out. I believe there's a slash that I think it's supposed to be an I for Scissors. Is that accurate?
Yep. Scissors comes out September 29th. That's where we're doing that big album release party at the Machine Shop, and all these shows are centered around that. We actually had a song drop today on Bandcamp. Yep. Yeah.
Just on Bandcamp.
Yep, just on Bandcamp. It's not on YouTube or anything yet. It's working its way through all that stuff.
Okay.
We're getting it'll be on Spotify and Apple and everything it's supposed to be on.
Song on Bandcamp.
It's called VIP.
And it's made publicly available right now.
Yep. Just came out today. Yeah, it dropped today.
Dude, I'm pissed off right now that I didn't know. I'm just kidding. No, I know. I wish I would have known that. I would have probably found it out, found it somewhere, maybe played it on the shows. It just dropped today. You know what? I might go rip that song and play that song instead of Palm at the end of this. So we don't know what I'm going to do yet. We'll
make it work, man. It's a cool song. I mean, the reception, I wasn't sure. Anytime you release new music, you just don't know. But it came out, and the reception has been outstanding. Everyone seems to love it, and they're just talking about good things. And I'm really excited for people to hear more stuff from it.
Dude, I love the band Taproot. Thank you so much, Phil, for coming on the show. I guess that's pretty much all the time we got. Is there anything else you wanted to mention before we get off of here?
Yeah, man. Check out our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. For like tour dates. We're playing more shows. We're planning to do more and more as it goes on. We got a lot of stuff coming. We got merch. We got skateboards. We've got all sorts of things, man. We're doing everything we can to, we got record, vinyl. I guess vinyl's the new thing now. People love vinyl.
Yeah.
We've got a best of B-sides thing. We got, we all sorts of stuff coming out, man. So it's the machine's fired up again. So if you like what we've done in the past, you'll like what we're doing now. Right
on. Go check out VIP. Phil, I do want you to please stay right there till after the outro song plays, and I'll let you know why after the show.
No worries.
That's all the time we got. I do want to thank my producer, Sam. I want to thank Pantheon Podcast Network. Of course, I want to thank you, Phil, for coming on the show, representing your band, Taproot. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Fuck, I should have said that before we started the show. No one's going to subscribe now. Everyone's already heard the fucking story, and they've done clicked off of this episode.
No one cares. God damn it. No one cares about you.
It's unfortunate. Phil, please stay right there. Peace out, rock on, and much love.
Hey there, long time no care from you. nothing to prove. Claiming things, blaming that just weren't true. You framed my crown content, no matter who you affect. No. You'd say it's the victim I play in this game. I'd say that I can't win either way now. Cliche, but I need to breathe these chains. No more pain. I stay. That it didn't matter either way now.
Ready?
It's the victim in It's the victim I play. It's the victim in It's the victim I play. It's the victim in You'd say it's the victim I play in this game. I'd say that I can't win either way now. Cliche, but I need to break these chains. No more blame. I stay. That it didn't matter either way now.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have us back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. Our pimp host has to pimp show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.